Well, hello guys, hello. Welcome back to the Big Fat Psychic channel. I'm so pleased to be reading again for you today. Okie dokie, we're going to look at Ben Habib, putting his, putting his weight behind Restore Britain. Let's have a look, okay? And also we're going to cover some YouTubers as well. No names mentioned, of course, but you will definitely know who I am talking about. And I must admit, there's a couple of things, that bother me as well. Anyway, let's go for it. How's Ben Habib feeling about ceasing Advance UK? It's not for Restore. It's not for Restore at all. It's not to support him. It's more likely that, he hasn't progressed in the way that I thought with Advance. He's got a lot of pride, but there's a bit of ego as well. Now, you all know that I think sometimes Ben is a whining git, okay? A whining git. If Ben and Rupert was ever going to partner up, they already did, and it didn't work out. They have very, very different ideas. And in most cases, apart from recently, because I haven't watched any hardly, Ben Habib seems to have it in his head that he'll be deported as well. Well, that's not the case. That is not the case, and very much misunderstood. So why did Ben end Advance UK? Which, by the way, I predicted over 2 years ago in a Dare to Ask and a video after. And the problem is, you guys, you newbies, you haven't seen those videos, so you think it's just coming out now, when actually I predicted a lot of things a long time ago. Why did he? Well, I'm getting, sharing information, discussions, letters and emails. One thing that bothers me is, if you remember, back in the early stages of the grooming gang, when Ben Habib donated some money and then actually, in a roundabout way, asked for it back because he felt that, Rupert Lowe should be answering to him at every Tom, Dick and Harry chance, and when Rupert didn't, Ben got upset. So we know Ben is run by his feelings. Listen, this time last year, or a few months before actually, I joined Advance UK. I thought it was a great thing. But people, what they say and how they react afterwards, do shed light on what kind of person you are, sir. Let's have a look. Is this anything to do with him being sued? Absolutely, and it's happening on the world stage as well. He knows what's going on and what's truly happening at the moment with him being sued, and we'll get to that point in a minute because, quite frankly, I'm disgusted with some other people's behaviour. Yeah, it's going to be public. It's public knowledge now, but obviously he's going to have to say something or eat humble pie maybe to deal with this billionaire that is suing him because of things that he said on a YouTuber's channel. What's Ben Habib hiding? He is hiding information that can never come out, or never should be come out. Which brings me to, you know, my point. I keep saying to people, you know, Labour will be decimated, Tories, you know, something goes on there, the Greens will fall apart. Basically, all roads, including reform, lead to restore. As if it's like a plan, as if people, the elites, want Rupert Lowe in. But do I believe that Rupert Lowe is in on this? Well, I don't want to. He's certainly doing the hard work and groundwork as well. You know, like many, like Trump, you know, they wait for you to come into position and then they've got something on you. Although I have said about restore, well, I'm not happy about that death penalty. I'm not. Where does it stop? You know, is it just for illegals and certain types of horrific abuse? I worry about it, okay? I'm not a supporter of it. I don't mind saying I'm not a supporter. Why don't I support it? Because it's like anything. You bring something in and it can be abused. So, you know, it could start off with these SA cases and then move on to something else entirely. And we are not that nation. We've never been that nation, and we're not now. And we shouldn't be, because as, you know, you might get 100 definite cases. Hang on, let's say 10,000 that you know for sure. But what if you got 2 cases in there that wasn't true? And that's my problem. I'd sooner send them to an island in harsh, strict conditions where they're made to work out for the rest of their life doing hard labour. I do not understand why the prison service don't already, like some countries, you know, have them working from day till night. Instead, they're left there to fester, mental health, you know. I mean, this could be somebody who's robbed from a shop, or we're not talking big crimes here. We're talking, you know, I don't know, maybe sentences under 10 years. And definitely not murder. And definitely not the cases we feel strongly about. But, you know, that is me. And younger people apparently are wanting this. They have no understanding of the world. They've got no experience. To them, nothing is black and white. It's all YouTube, X, and Facebook. That's how, you know, they live their lives and gain knowledge. What is wrong with them all? Was Ben Habib, you know, told to toe the line, cease his advance and get behind Restore Britain as part of a plan. Not quite sure about that. 4 of Cups, so we've got discontent. Do you know what? I think he's been thinking things over. And he's getting the message of what I've said before. You know, he has to find his place. He has to find his way. And he hasn't done that yet. You know, he's struggling moving along. Now, everybody's going, oh yes, Ben Habib's done this, he's sacrificed and blah blah blah. It's not a sacrifice. He didn't have a winning party in the first place. He's also whined and moaned and bitched too much, you know, about Restore Britain as well. How does Rupert feel? He's got far too much on. He's not going to waste his time, or he's not an emotional guy anyway. He's not a thank you so much, blah, 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 you know. He's not a kiss ass. I'm not saying that Ben is. it's up to Ben what he does, you know. He's not enticed him or anything. It's up to Ben. Cannot go into a party. He was in a separate party and expected, you know, his advance, you'll pay, expected Rupert Lowe to dance and perform for him and answer every email. And I worry, you know, that in a way, so my impression is that Ben's making out, you know, he's done this for the good of the people, and, you know, it backs Restore Britain. And then he still might want a bigger role in it. I don't think he will be able to accept Rupert with his decisions, and then it's like attacking from the outside and attacking from the in. And that is what I am very concerned about. Are we right to be concerned about that, universe? This will take some time, so maybe at first it presents as not being problematic. In actual fact, I do feel like Ben maybe feels that, you know, there'll be a bigger position for him. Well, that's becoming somebody else, you know, and not following through on your own beliefs, whether it's right or wrong, you know, whether it comes across as whining or not, critical or not. Just be bloody true to yourself and, you know, keep in that lane. You don't need to change for anybody. And people will feel better and confident because they know your views, you know, right from the beginning, and they're not expecting you to change your mind or backtrack. I think that's what it means. Oh, excuse me, my throat has gone so dry. Let me just fill myself up with water. Do you know what? I think that dry water was, it'll stick in his throat in the end. Well, it's sticking his throat in the end. He's about to become very unwell. And this is to do with his feelings. I've always said about Ben Habib, can't hide his feelings. No, that's not a criticism at all, but when you're in a position like that, I definitely think it's, you know, not helpful at all. Fake it. Something about an illness as well I'm getting for him. Okay. So what I've noticed is big champions, you know, these YouTubers who was having Ben Habib on, or a lot. I'm definitely looking at 2 here. Where are they now? So I'm going to whisper the name, because I'm not doing it on here. You will know shortly who I'm talking about, but anyway. How does feel about Ben Habib shutting down Advance? So this channel, oh, you've funny, isn't it? You got 2. Well, this channel, and I think the other one as well. Well, they're thinking they can still have him on and talk about Restore, okay? Because these people are about money. Actually, one of them isn't. He's got very few subscribers, to be fair, for the work that he does. But this other one in particular, oh, I made the mistake of watching a video. All it did was slag off Restore, point to reform. You had Habib on as well, and this is the channel that Habib went on, and now he's getting sued for what he said. Now the worst part about it is, and I'll prove it, did this individual know what Habib was going to say? Absolutely, right? And he tells you in the video that they'd already been chatting the day before. If you knew, then the responsible thing to do was to say nothing, or say, do you know what, that's my channel, I don't feel comfortable with that, and also you know what YouTube's like for censoring and blah blah blah, you know, don't say that, save yourself, or say it in a different way. But this person didn't. And still wants him as a guest. So it wasn't that interview. I don't know if you can trace comments, okay, but I think in 4 or 5 years I've only ever commented about 5 times. One was a couple was to Sky, because I knew she wasn't very well, and I just wanted to reach out to her. And obviously subscribers had been asking, you know, look, it's very draining and we have a lot of problems as well. That's why we can read on any situation and see, because we have that kind of history. Oh, anyway, it got the better of me. So I said, I don't like being told what to do. I'm not telling you what to do, who to vote for. All I've been saying is, you know, be true to yourself. Who do you want to win? And that's it. Never mind you knight the right and all this, because now all these certain YouTubers look a right CUNT, because Habib has gone from slagging them off to joining forces and making a huge sacrifice. So I think I started off, and I'm going to say this to anybody. I was well pissed off. I had to come off his channel. I can't watch it. He riles me up there so much. So basically I put something like, our forefathers fought in wars to give us the ability and the right to vote. And yes, it was men at first only, and then later it was women. And that I don't like being told from somebody who was not in our country and has no way of voting in the UK, yet telling us what to do. So I literally said, why don't you get your ass back here and you vote as well? Well, they won't do that, will they? I don't care whether you're in trouble or not. We're all in trouble and have got problems of our own, but we'll be at the polling stations, you know, backing it up. And I just don't like it, okay? So I told him, give him what for. Don't bother telling me what to do, and I won't tell you how to run your channel as well. I mean, I think they're the words that I use, but maybe there was karma. You know, I'm going for who I think is the best party. And I don't like, you know, it's divisive, this kind of talk. It is, you know, oh, you can't, I don't like you, I'm going to stay with Reform, don't like Restore. You know, it's all dog's bollocks at the end of the day. Vote for who you want in. Because when you stray into strategies and people saying this, that and the other, well, what you're doing is you're actually taking away that very honest part of you, and also the leap of faith, you know. If you want to vote Reform, vote Reform. If you want to vote Restore, Greens, you know, vote them. Vote who you like. But be true to yourself, because there's nothing worse, is there, being proven wrong later down the line. And right now, although I don't like all of the policies of Restore, you know, mainly they're giving me what I want. So if those people feel like, oh, they have to unite the right and be told what to do. That's not true democracy, is it? And that's certainly not what our forefathers, won a war for and died for. It's like, have some respect for the dead. Yeah, okay, we got it wrong with Labour. Yes, we did. Put our hands up. But we're learning from it, okay? We're learning from it. And this unite the right, how damaging is unite the right speech? It's preventing us, from finding peace within ourselves. And it's like, I don't like it as well. I think it's very unfair when people say, oh, well, you voted Labour, it's all your fault. Well, actually, a lot of you guys didn't even get off your arse to vote, okay? So everybody just wants their country to be peaceful and have stability. But how do you know your chosen party isn't going to win, if you just have that leap of faith to believe in us as people, okay? There is no right and wrong decision, and I certainly won't be told by some fucker in another country when they're not even voting themselves, okay? And anyway, I'm convinced a lot of these YouTubers with Unite the Right being paid and making money as well. That should never have been allowed to happen with Ben Habib. If he hadn't gone on that show, he wouldn't have been sued, because that's what they're marking as their channel. So I think creators have to be very, very careful about spurious allegations, I'd have just said to Ben, you're not saying that on my show, you'll get into trouble. I'll get into trouble. And I realise there's, maybe 100,000 people that agree with these channels. But, I'm telling you, be true to yourself and have a leap of faith, because God works in mysterious ways as well. I think, the two main parties to contend with is reform and is restore. But go for who you like, and don't listen to people who are trying to strategise your right to vote for who you want, which has been done, for over 100 years. I think it goes back into the 1880s. Do it for yourself, and just believe in yourself and believe in that party. I mean, both really offer good solutions. I think our main thing is about sending the boats back. And if you can't, I've said this before, if you can't unite us, okay, having differences of opinions, then what hope is there of uniting these two parties in particular? Oh, and I know a certain channel has not had Ben Habib on since 8 days ago, despite the developments. Now there might be something coming up in their pipeline, but how does this person feel about Ben Habib supporting a party and putting his weight behind it that he doesn't like and that is slagged off consistently? How does he feel? There you go. You got legal trouble as well. And without the talk about Ben with restore, about reform, no one talking about him, well, that kind of poses a problem, okay, poses a problem. Look, anything else he writes about, or, I used to like, but I also know, you know, that, well, a certain individual like Tommy Robinson was dropped when it got too hot, and he was dropped. You don't do that. You don't do it. It's like you stand by your sword and die by it if need be. So it's only, you know, the strategy of going around with things that I strongly disagree with. So, universe, you know, is it right that people should use democracy? Absolutely, you know, the universe can't believe, you know, how much madness is going on about this. We're not being fooled, okay? We're taking a leap of faith, which is exactly what I said. Now, I can understand our reactions because we care about our country, you know. We want our families safe. It is truly horrific what is going on. But this is different, okay? It's different. And you know what? If you've sold your soul to another party that you really don't want in because you didn't think the other could win, what happens when that party wins? And that is vice versa for restore and reform. Out of all the parties, they're the two that, you know, if one can't win, I want the other to win. People are, you know, rightly scared and fearful and horrified, you know, and everything's upsetting. I always say, consider the source. Will this YouTuber be contributing his earnings to Ben Habib's legal case? Now that would be a good thing to do. It'd actually go up in my estimations. You know what? I think he might. I really do. I think he could turn a corner and see the error and the mistake he's made. And yeah, maybe. I'm getting another interview here. Will this person part with his cash for the sake of Ben? I'm getting yes, okay, so we don't quite know where this case is going, whether it's going ahead. Obviously, there'll be some solicitors involved, and I'll have to say, I don't believe that the 5 million from the billionaire was actually, I mean, it's proven, you know, the opinion of it. So there's quite legally a little bit of leeway, but obviously nothing's finalised. How does Ben feel about being done on a YouTuber's channel and found for defamation? How does he feel about the channel creator? Ben won't be going back. I'm getting, you know, he won't be going back. Why won't he go back? Where are you now? I've had that. I woke up with that song this morning. Where are you now? And of course he doesn't think it's a good idea, whereas I think the channel is hoping to have Ben on, and you can't discuss this case. Did the content creator read my comment? No. No. Okay, so a lot of them, and it's hard to decipher who's real, who's a bot, who's a paid disruptor. They're a lot, so no. I think he did. because in it I accused him, well no, I didn't accuse him, I was clever with my words. So, you sound, every day, each and every day, you sound more and more like a paid influencer. Did they see that? Ooh, didn't like it as well when I told him that he knew all about Ben Habib and profited from it, and that you knew beforehand what was going to be said, which you did, you know. Well, if anything, I just want a yes or no. Did my comment reach his eyes? No. No. It's as if, you know, it does get a lot of comments. I got a few likes, like. Yeah, it does get a lot of comments, and it's very difficult to read everybody's. You know, depending on your personal life. Okay, so YouTube too. Now I saw a tiny, what was it? Like, is it not an intro? But they do it in cut sections where you can see what's going. So again, I'm not going to say the name. How does feel about Ben's decision? Yeah, I know he wasn't happy. Kind of get women, maybe is you know, something about a woman here. How did he feel about it? I don't think he was happy whatsoever. His stance is not being paid. His stance is being truly, you know, it's too much. It's too much, you know, what's going on, the injustice. And yes, when you're reporting all the time on negative things, it does get to you, and it's very hard to come away from. And your family would know, your colleagues, you know, if you had children, which I don't believe they do, you know, I think they find it very difficult to swallow. Oh, I know what he's on about. Is he on about Makerfield and the woman of choice for Restore? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. But I don't think Advance UK had anybody in line anyway. This is this Makerfield, you know, is obviously very important and sets the tone for the future. The future can always be changed. I think that's what he's bothered about, you know. I mean, I'm gonna have to say, you know, fair to them all. Is Channel 1. Have they got the, you know, the it's Channel 1, you know, genuine in hopes for, you know, are they genuine and sincere in what they're actually saying? Because people can say what they're like, you know. You might not like what I say sometimes. You have that right, and I have that right as well. So are they sincere in their intentions? Channel 1? I don't think so. I don't know why, but, you know, I've always had this feeling. It sticks in your mind and you think, right, well, there was this, there was that, there was the other, and in the end it's like it becomes I become very unforgiving. Is Channel 1 Sincere? No. No. Channel 2. Is he sincere? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. He is very sincere. I think he's going to have a woman on his show. Maybe he got involved with somebody. Because it's as if he knows Advance wasn't going to win. But is this Lucy Connolly? No. Who's the woman? He likes her. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a shock here. A shock factor. Is she a victim of anything? Devil card, absolutely. Do you know what though? I'm kind of thinking this doesn't go so well. Not air from the Greens, is it? So now we've got 2 women. There will be discussion. I believe this candidate is actually pulled out for the Greens. Did the Greens pull out of Makerfield? Yeah. Because of those sickos and you know, poor Henry and poor the girls and everything else. She listened. Oh, I've got a single. She listened to, that means spirits around me reassuring me. She listened in Parliament to the harrowing stories, and she's a decent human being. Will Channel 2 interview the lady from the Green? No, not yet. Only after Makerfield election. So I have one that's sincere and one that isn't. And there are my thoughts and opinions as well. You know, I always have it confirmed. I'm not usually harsh on people, but this person, you know, don't bother telling me that you're robbing yourself, you're stealing, you know, your integrity from yourself. And you become as bad as the M's and as Labour as well, because you're going in on strategy. It's the actual voting system that needs to change, not you. And you'll get them in, and you'll get them in, and then, you know, you've robbed yourself of peace of mind. Because it doesn't matter what is going to happen, things won't change or improve for a long time to come. Let's just ask. How do the people that died for our rights to vote using democracy, not strategy, how do they see it? Oh yeah, not happy at all, look. Didn't happen that way. Didn't happen that way back in the day. Shouldn't be happening now as well. Appearance is not... so they know this is all like fixed. Do they believe, you know, that currently... You'd have never have heard this before Labour came into power. You didn't, because it wasn't a problem. Or it wasn't seen as one. What's their advice? Be true to yourself, okay? Be true. Don't be told by anybody or swayed. Do not divert from what should be as it's always been. Yes, I know it's only Labour that caused this as well, you know, but we make mistakes, you know. Half people didn't want Brexit, half did. It's the way of life, and anyway, it's not God's choice for us to behave like that. And especially when you can see, you know, other muppets profiting from your despair. Be true to yourself. Stick with who you believe in, not who you think will win, okay? Who you believe in. Stay true to yourself. Ugh, nothing worse than going against your own gut feeling to find out you was right later on, and that you'd, you know, robbed yourself, that you'd convinced yourself another way. And we didn't have all this influence neither. I mean, I only went onto YouTube during COVID. Otherwise, I'd never been there. Never had a Facebook account, never, you know, didn't even look at Instagram. Mind you, I don't even do that now. TikTok, none of it was in my life. And don't forget, we're overloaded with information, and it's sensory facts, effects. Okay, maybe we should ask, okay. Will Reform win the seat at Makerfield? Okay. Might have to wait longer. No need to rush. Have patience. Maybe that means no need to rush to a conclusion, and have patience in the and faith in the leap of faith. And we got it somewhere else as well, and upside down. Just trust your own gut instincts. You'll sleep better. Have patience. So they have to wait. Clarify. Will Reform win Makerfield? I'm going to say yes. They know you are right. Okay, let's ask about Restore Britain. Something feels off here. Maybe they both win. Did they both win? No, only one wins. Okay, do Restore Britain win? I've had that twice for them. Works out well. So I'm saying 8. 8? I don't think it's 8 seats. Oh, well, I remember the scientist, Melissa. I said she was shot. One of my subscribers, or 2 or 3 of you, put the statement that it was by suicide. Now, I asked you to find me the person who committed suicide but didn't. I found her. So she'll be the next big read there for scientists. I think they're all connected to F1. want to get some sunshine today. I've only got a week to go. Right, I'm getting working well, works out well. Which seems more promising. Okay, well, the majority of Makerfield vote for Restore Britain. Holy shit. And they'll be out in force and all. Families, families, families. You know what, it's either a landslide or it's very close. Is it going to be a close race? Yeah, past into the future. But, you know, I do think knocking on people's doors really works. Because it gives you an opportunity, you know, to sell the party, but also to dispel myths, which mainstream media and other people are doing. How will it reform members, fans? How will they feel after, you know, about the results of Makerfield? Something you often do, you know, they'll feel good as well. I don't understand it. Tradition, so is it that they believe Reform always get their seats, you know, maybe Reform has been in the party. I wonder if that's possible. Is Reform and Restore still in? No, lack of ideas and commitment. Oh, I don't know. Shit. I can't get a yes or no. I mean, people could be really happy with Restore and have the families out, you know, and it'd be a good day and happy for how close they came. Do Restore and Reform both win seats? Gain. Right, I see success for both. So God knows, you know, what's going on there. The Reform and Restore end up both having seats. Balance, Restore. And being calm about it and having peace of mind. Well, balance is when something equals out. But I am saying Restore. The only way that could be, if Restore win, is if they've already got Reform candidates in there. Have Reform already got seats in Makerfield? You won't get away with it. Well, you know, the majority of Makerfield want Restore. You won't get away with it. Will Reform lose a seat? I just don't know. Right. Is reform going to be happy, but only for a short time? No. Like they're creating, they're anxious. Ah, gut feeling. People will say this was one of the hardest ones. Right, let's have a look after. How will Nigel Farage feel about the results and restore Britain? No. How will Nigel Farage feel about his party and the results? They're trying to make out, is that the reform woman? Does he believe she's cost him? Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so it looks like Ray Starr are in for a good result, and Nigel will feel like, you know, that woman there cost them their seat as well. So all moving in the right direction as well. So yeah, I think maybe that spat has done some good. Do you know what? I tried to watch it even yesterday, I think, but I couldn't understand who was a good guy and who was a baddie. I was a bit confused. But yeah, okay, so I think that's the way to go. Be true to yourself and don't let anybody take and steal your faith in human nature, okay? Because it'll all win out in the end. We all start behaving like that and concocting shite, well, you just, you know, sold your soul to the devil. That's all I can say. Anyway, Eva, as long as it makes an impact, as long as things start changing as well, and unfortunately things don't change until all the muck comes out, all the dirty deeds and the lies and exposing a system. You know, so it's going to be rough. It's still rough for the next couple of years, regardless who you vote for. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Another long video. I'll be back soon with another reading. In fact, it won't be soon. I'm going to out tonight. I'm going to go get my notepad. I was supposed to do it the other night, but I didn't feel up to it really. But yeah, so, and I'm going to spend a couple of days lying in the sun with my husband, who they all think has come on holiday on his own. Anyway, okay, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Bye now. Bye bye.